Well, hello, I'm Joanna Clark with Blissful Baby Sleep Coaching, and I have another amazing person to introduce you to. I have Lisa Duerre here. And Lisa and I, believe it or not, we are co-authors of contributing experts in the one thing every mompreneur needs to know. And Lisa is a business strategist and a leadership expert and a mom and a mompreneur. And the reason why I wanted to bring Lisa here today is because she is a woman that literally walks her talk. And this is a hard thing to do. We all have big aspirations about how we want to live our life and how we want to design our life and live on a daily basis. But to be able to, on a daily basis, execute that, Lisa is able to. And Lisa's whole philosophy is that she wants to align her life with her work. I want you guys to realize the way we usually think about it is, how do I align my work with my life? But Lisa has a whole new philosophy on how to really interpret life in a different way. Life, then work. And she's got a 5-part process that she's going to talk about that will help us do that and start thinking differently. But first, Lisa, thank you so much for coming and just explore with me. What is that difference? Like, when we started talking about this, I was like, wow, I've been thinking the wrong way. So can you tell us a little bit about how you came to this and what it really means?
Oh, Joanna, yes. And what I love about the intro is people all the time look at life and work and many times they're so used to fitting their life outside, work is first and then squeeze life in whenever you can, right? And then parenthood shows up, or caregiving for a loved one, or perhaps you get the fur baby first, right? Wherever you are in your journey, when there's more beyond work, it's like, how can I possibly have what I want when these new responsibilities kind of feel very heavy? Although you're excited, it's really weighing you down. And so the reason I'm so excited to talk to your audience, your followers, is that I truly believe, and I will share my story with them about, you can align work with life. And I believe that that's what's necessary in today's world. If you are trying to align based around your work first, you're going to miss out on life. And I don't believe any of us are born to have our gravestone read, "She was an awesome worker." Right? That might
Exactly.
be part of what really lights you up and has an impact in the world because you're doing awesome things. But if you're choosing to be a parent or a caregiver, that's because you want that experience and you want to be able to really do really good things in that space. And all I know, and what I see every day with the leaders that I work with and the businesses that I coach on their strategy, is these amazing people that don't know how to align backwards, right? They're aligning backwards. My point is, they're aligning backwards. So if you align life first and then you align your work with that, you're a much more grounded, able to contribute positive force on this planet. It's knowing how to do it, right? And that's where people get stuck. It's like, I want that, but I don't even know how to go about that because it feels so foreign, because that's not how we're raised. We go to school to get the job, and then you get the job and then life. No.
Exactly.
Right? That's not why we're here.
Right. Our whole entire orientation is in this step-by-step kind of life curriculum, which means we do everything in order to earn a living, and then we fit life around it.
Yes.
But in the big picture, that's not what we desire in how to live our life. But that's what we're told to live our life that way.
That's how society, I love the millennials. So, excuse me. The millennials are like, I want it all. And I love that aspect of it because they're in a different mindset around it, even thinking it's possible in the first place, where the Gen Xers and the boomers are like, no, work first, family second. And, I'm a late in life mom. I had my daughter after 6.5 years of infertility. We were blessed to have a healthy, amazing daughter. She is the light of our lives. And it was a wake-up call for me because at 43, as a successful Silicon Valley executive and struggling with infertility so long while working and traveling, oh my gosh, did it rock my world. Like, to the core. I actually ended up burning out because I didn't change how I was showing up at work, even though I had this now amazing human who was, who needed me, who I wanted. I never thought about at the time. I was so focused on a healthy pregnancy. I didn't think about reentry to work after maternity leave.
Right.
I never thought about redesigning my life. I just kept thinking I can do it all exactly as I did. And that was absolutely a recipe for burnout. And I did. I was 100 pounds overweight. I was sleepwalking through life. I couldn't find my car in the parking lot at work. Like I was so foggy brained. And this is, around the time she was 2. This isn't like sleep deprived new stuff, right? This is 2 years of sleep deprivation on top of all of the responsibilities of raising an amazing human being.
And the responsibilities of a Silicon Valley business executive.
Yes. And I roll my eyes like this because I look back and go, duh, of course you didn't, however, we are conditioned to like show back up at work after you have the baby and act like nothing's changed. Right. But the reality is everything
has changed.
Yeah. Yep. So my goal in life is to support leaders who are committed to their careers and their loved ones and really align their life and their work, right? Alignment, not balance. I think balance is a myth. People talk about that all the time now, but alignment on what really matters so that you can design the life you want and be present for the moments that matter to you at work and at home. Yeah.
I love that. The idea of being present for the moments that matter. It sounds so basic and so beautiful. And yet the reality is, how often are we?
Oh my gosh.
Even though we desire it, even though we want to be, but the question again, like you said earlier, is how? So tell me about your 5-part process to get to that how, so I can learn about this alignment concept versus balance.
Yeah. Thank you. And let me say one thing about the chapters that we're in together, right? This book, while it says the one thing every mompreneur needs to know, I fully know that Joanna's chapter and mine, whether you run your own business, you're a leader in the organization, or you're leading your household, I'm going to call you a mompreneur.
Yes.
Because being a parent and running whatever you're running qualifies you, right? Yeah, and so absolutely. this title of mompreneur, I put it in quotes. I love it in some ways because it really like stands you in your power of being responsible for more than your child, right? I also don't want it to take anybody out of your audience to not hear this, because I use what I'm about to share whether or not you are running your own business. This process works regardless, and it's the process I used to reboot my life and to be present for the moments that matter with my loved ones, whether it's my child, my mom, whatever. So yeah, I'd love to share this 5-part process and be of service to your tribe, because oh my gosh, the people that you help are creating the next generation of leaders, right? They're creating the next society. And I am just so honored to have this space to support them as they are navigating those early years of parenthood, because that is no joke.
Absolutely. And that's my whole thing is I want to be the place to come for accurate and reliable information, not only for all things sleep, but to be looking at parenthood from a bigger scope. And looking at all the ways that you can be creative in designing your life. And that's why I was so excited to have you here, because you and I talk about this topic. I'm designing my life too, right? So I feel like it's constantly an evolution of reevaluation and reprioritizing and realigning. So tell us about this 5-part process.
Okay, so in my chapter, I'm like an author. I love that we can be authors together. I get all like, woo, this is so exciting to share a mission, right? So in the chapter called Aligning Work and Life, the first step always, and listen, this every time you start with gratitude. There's science-based research, I think, that's very popular now on the internet, but starting in gratitude opens you up to so much more, right? So it's what are you grateful for at work? And what are you grateful for in your life? Now, that's not always easy when your kid's not sleeping through the night. You've got a meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning. You've got spit up on your shoulder. You're trying to get out the door. Your husband or wife is like, hey, wait, blah, blah, blah. This isn't done yet. And you're just like, rah, right? So I don't want to paint this picture that it's just so simple and you just write your gratitude list.
No.
It might be, I'm grateful I have gas in my car so I don't have to stop on the way to work.
Exactly.
It might be, I am grateful that I can afford dry cleaning to get the spit up off my, whatever, right? So start with gratitude and really look at both aspects that we're talking about, life and work. And the reason I'm separating them is we're going to get really clear about what really matters for you. So if work means running your household, separate that from the rest of your life. And if work is a career in a corporate job or a nonprofit, whatever, like separate that. So really getting clear on why did you choose the work you chose? Because you chose it. And why are you choosing the life you're living? Because you chose it, right? So grateful. That's where you start. And then what happens is having that awareness, I'm closing my eyes because I'm picturing it. Like having that awareness opens you up to then go, okay, yes, and here's what's not working. I am so grateful for all this, but here's the stuff that's still kind of in my head and on my heart and in my way.
Yes.
So step one is gratitude, right? And you can start that every morning or you can do that every night when you go to bed. My family, we do it at dinner. So we sit around and we say, I'm grateful for this food and this time with each other. And then I'm grateful for, and then, my daughter fills it in, my husband and I, that's how we roll in my house. I'm trying to really work as a family to foster gratitude as a daily experience because I know what a difference it makes.
Right.
Okay. So that's the first step. The second step is to get really clear to identify and, excuse me, I have this head cold right now. Identify and eliminate what's not working. And that's a big chunk, Joanna. This isn't like, write it on a list and we're done. This is like, okay, I'm going to pour my soul out into my journal. You take a piece of paper and you write down, I'm doing a terrible job at, managing meal prep. I am so frustrated because there's weeds in my flower bed. I'm always late to meetings and I'm embarrassed and I don't know how to change it, right? I'm out the door every day late and I'm just constantly starting the day in stress. Like whatever it is, right? Write that down, okay? And then you really start to think about, and I'm closing my eyes because I can see my process, right? Okay, what can I just get rid of? What can I delegate, right? Or what do I really need to embrace that's my reality today? Yes. It's not my reality forever.
Right.
But like today, I might need to just let that flower bed go, right? I might just need to say, what's most important is sleep, and you help them with that, right?
Right.
So you write your list down.
Yeah. And I love the aligning the expectations with reality because we often will self-judge.
Oh my, yes.
And wear ourselves out with our own negative inner talk. And so this process helps you release some of that internal pressure that's happening that you might not even be aware of. Like the idea of, the weeds in the front flower bed, that could be running a loop all day long and wearing you out when you can just basically say out loud to yourself and to those, like, I am choosing not to worry about that right now. And I'm going to literally release this from the inner loop that's exhausting me. And I'm actively choosing that. And that's very empowering.
Oh, Joanna, I think it's life-changing. And I'm so glad we were double clicking on that. So real quick story to drive it home. So I've had a coach my whole life as a career, as a leader in my career. And I'm getting married. I got married, I think, how old was I? 37. I was 37 when I got married. And I was sitting with my coach came to my wedding because she mattered to me. And she says, okay, top 3 things, because weddings are crazy. Top 3 things only. Everything else you need to decide to let go. And I'm like, okay, top 3 things. All right. So I wanted to have alone time with my husband when we got married, we had beautiful cliffs. I wanted to have fun dancing. And I wanted to make sure that my guests really enjoyed, like they could really be a part of the ceremony because it was beautiful. So here comes my bouquet being delivered. And then here comes the wedding planner saying, we're short on boutonnieres. Can I take some flowers out of your bouquet? And my mom's sitting with me at the time. And she's like, because I dreamt of this bouquet forever.
Yes.
And I was like, right. And then I went, oh wait, it's not my top 3. Okay, don't put my energy there. Don't put my energy there. And I said to my mom, will you please take the bouquet out? I need to process this. And my mom looked at me like, you need to process? Like she's, I'm using my work words, right? I said, yeah. it's not my top 3. I just need a minute to like let go of this, right? So she took the bouquet out, came back in, and I was like, all right, the bouquet is what it is. And like having that awareness of like what really matters, I stayed present in the moment. I could have, the whole wedding could have been ruined.
Yep.
If I had stayed in that, what's wrong with the floor, blah, blah, you know, forget about it.
Right.
And I take that, I pull that through into parenting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The play date's happening and like your son or daughter's like, I don't want to go. And you're like, but we got to go. And if it's not your top 3, like, why are you really going in the first place? So really just getting super, super clear on what you are going to own and take ownership for and prioritize, what you're going to delegate to someone else. And then the middle part's where it gets sticky, and that's step 3. And that's really just saying to yourself, okay, what am I tolerating?
Yes.
Right? And not shaming yourself. Like, this is about self-discovery. And listen, if you are nursing your child or you are sleep training your child, I get you're all in, right? And this do loop runs anyway. So let's replace that do loop with an assessment about what you're tolerating. Because once you like own that, so I could have tolerated the bouquet and the florist and tolerate that like resentment. Nope, I'm going to let it go, right? I'm going to let it go. So the thing I know about being a working mom, and the thing I also know about being a caretaker when my mom was in hospice. So whether you have an infant, a young child, you know, someone you love that needs you, there's only so much time in the day, and it's so precious. It's very important to take a look at what you're tolerating, then recognize it. This is a moment in time. This is a season in time. This is not forever, right? So I got really clear that wedding mattered more than the bouquet. And so it might matter more that you're present with your child or your loved one than the weeds. Do you know what I mean? Like really just like owning it in that moment and going, okay, I will get to that later, but I'm going to now take that out of my mental space and put it in, you know, in leadership world, we call it the parking lot.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's, it's critical. And that's step 3.
Love step 3. What are you tolerating? And don't feel shamed around it. Just choose to add some more things in the parking lot.
Put it in the parking lot, baby.
Put it in the parking lot and don't feel shame about it.
Yeah. And if you can't put it in the parking lot because it's essential, like cooking meals or whatever, like work with whatever you have and radical compassion, right? Excuse me. There were days when I'm like, macaroni and cheese and broccoli is better than McDonald's.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going to tolerate that I got the best I can do right now. This is it, right? And then like not shaming yourself. I mean, oh my gosh, scrolling through all of social media about the picture perfect family. Like I love the family photos where the kids are like this and the mom's like, my hair is coming out, because that's real. Right. So just radical compassion for doing the best you can in the moment, but recognizing, oh my gosh, I'm putting so much more on me that is even realistic, much less useful.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. Give us step 4.
Oh my gosh, step 4, you've heard me say so many times working together over the years.
Yes.
Know what lights you up.
Yes.
Know what lights you up. Oh my gosh, if you love cooking, don't delegate that. If you love, excuse me, let me think of what else. I loved running meetings. And, you know, it was like, I could go to work and be like, okay, I want to reframe my job and I'm not going to lead people anymore. But leading meetings and leading people lights me up. I love bringing people together. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to let that go. So knowing what lights you up and prioritizing that in your life changes your honest to goodness, it's your chemical makeup, right? It brings more joy in. It is solidifying and it's empowering. So when I work with leaders, I always start with them about their strengths. What strengths do they bring to the table? And a lot of times that translates right back into parenting. You'll see, you know the correlation. I'm sure for you, organizing moves and organizing life, right? That's a strength of yours, and it lights you up in the sense of pulling it all together, right? Like, okay, I got it. So knowing what lights you up, that clarity, for so many moms of kids between 0 and 6, they forget this.
Yes.
Because you're all in on parenting, right? What lights you up? Knowing that and prioritizing that wherever you can, even if you do it first. Like, this is another contrarian space for me.
Yes.
Do the hard stuff first. Oh, no, 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 no. Do the stuff that lights you up so you have the capacity to do the hard stuff.
Yes.
If you only focus on the stuff that doesn't light you up or drains you, how will you ever get the energy for that marathon of life? So know what lights you up. I'll stop there.
Yeah. And with the lighting up, again, going back to looking at the two segments, work and life. And
Yes.
if you are running a household and you're a stay-at-home mom, work and life. Running a household is work. It is your number
Absolutely.
one job. And if you're working as an employee or as an employer, or you are a mompreneur, so it's work and life. Like, make sure you go back and ask yourself in each of these areas, what lights you up in life?
Yes.
What
Very
lights
good.
you up in, like, kind of how you recognize work in your life, and make sure that the things that you're doing on a daily basis in each area is on that list.
Absolutely.
So that you have the energy to go do all the other hard stuff.
Yeah. Because listen, the hard stuff doesn't go away. It's either on the parking lot or you're owning it, either through managing it yourself or delegating it out, but it has to get done. Taxes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Taxes. I'm going to give you a couple more, doctor's appointments, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Performance reviews, right? Yeah.
Right.
Got to get them done. One thing I'd love to double click on this for you is that this is where journaling can be really useful. And I'm not someone who likes to write a lot. And so I will do like a voice memo. One of the tips I learned a long time ago is like, look at your camera roll. If you're called to take a picture of something, your heart is engaged, and that usually lights you up. So if you're, parents to 0 to 6-year-olds, listen, your camera roll is full of your kids, right? Look deeper. What is your child doing? Are you in the picture with them? Are you outside? Are you reading? Is the child doing an activity? Are you perhaps in an environment with a play date with like-minded people? Like, take a look at that. And so that's my big tip for new parents.
That's wonderful. It's
Take
wonderful.
a look at your camera roll, because it lit you up enough to capture that moment. And so those are the moments that matter to you, because you put them on film.
Yes.
Film, digital film, right? So that's the thing there. And then work, it's not like people run around taking pictures of work. However, if you close your eyes and you think about, when did you feel really proud? When did you want to high five yourself and you didn't need anybody else to tell you it was kick ass, right? Those experiences light you up too. And so paying attention to that. And I'm going to give one more tip here, because this is so important. So many times, and for myself too, having the child and then re-entering work or re-entering life, navigating that without clarity is a daily basis for people. And that's what causes sleepwalking. So knowing what lights you up is so important for you to then be able to stand in a place of power to negotiate a flexible work schedule, to ask for remotes on Fridays so you can go to the Mommy and Me music class, or heck, occupational therapy if something's going on, right?
Yes.
Knowing what lights you up and what really matters allows you to stand into that and then dream about what it can look like. So many people, including myself, when I did it, I just went right back in the same way. And oh my gosh, what a missed opportunity, right? But again, now I'm here and I'm learning, right? And I'm sharing. So
right. And exactly. I mean, this is why I'm saying Lisa walks her talk. I mean, Lisa has lived both lives.
Yeah.
And she's learned about it. She's reflected on it, and she's made the necessary changes to not sleepwalk. And it is, I'm guilty of sleepwalking too. We all are.
Oh, me too.
And it's really snapping yourself back to recognize, oh, it's happening now, or it's happening again. And knowing the steps in which to autocorrect. And this is really what we're talking about today. These 5 steps are very, very easy and manageable to do to help reorientate yourself so that you're not sleepwalking. And again, as parents, we want to raise this amazing generation of future leaders, as Lisa said. And we want to raise really interesting, emotionally connected children. And in order to do that, we have to kind of do the work too. And that interdiscipline will also translate to helping your child ultimately. And that's, parenting is a big job, because it's much more, it's a molding process, and we have to mold ourselves too while we're helping mold them. So tell us about step 5.
Yeah, step 5. This is such a good segue, Joanna. I love it when we riff, right?
Yeah.
Step 5 is support is everything.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be very transparent. I've had a medical weight loss coach. I've had a therapist. I've had a business coach. I've had a marketing coach. I've had a marriage coach. Do you know what I mean? Like, I believe in coaching. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I've also had mentors. I've had amazing champions who believed in me and talked to me straight, right? Sometimes I've been that for myself. Here's what I know about navigating this process.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, keep it in your head and to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
forget about it. The do loop that happens is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're all in with your child and your family right now, and you're like, I can't take one more thing, find a mom friend, find a buddy, do whatever you need to like have someone to work this process with. Do it with your spouse. Don't do this alone is my point.
Yes.
If you are able to actually find a coach for yourself, as you guys know, working with Joanna, coaching changes lives, right? That's, I believe, the magic piece that happens here. And finding someone who's been in your shoes is essential. There's so many, listen, coaching right now, it's like everybody's a coach, right? And great, because we all have expertise to bring. But if you're looking for somebody who's navigated newborn to 16, you want a coach who's had a child through that phase. If you're looking to keep upping your game in your career because you love being a working parent, you want to find a coach who's a working parent who gets it and who's walking the talk, right? It's really important. So for me, I want to say support is everything, and I always want to say first, mental health first.
Yeah.
Over everything else. So, shout out to every therapist that's out there. I love mine.
Yes.
It's huge. It's huge. Support is everything, because if you keep it in your head, if you keep it in your head, you don't make the progress that you want.
Right. And, again, we as a society are not good at asking for help, as if asking for help is, makes you less than. But actually, I believe asking for help enriches you, because you reach out to another and you get help, support, clarity, confidence, and momentum to transform where you were and where you want to be. And you can move there more quickly and with more clarity and confidence. And if the desire is there to make that shift, you can't do it alone. And what I mean by alone is whether it's you find a therapist, you find a coach, you find a great friend that's an accountability partner, you find an amazing mentor. It does not have to be somebody that you're paying to help you. There are so many access points to build your own kind of inner network of support. And that's kind of what we're saying here today is we tend to be a more isolated society because you go to work, you come home, you do your parenting thing, and that's it. And in that isolation, that terrible to-do list and the shaming and the toleration just goes round and round, and it becomes a vortex. And so in talking with my moms, and talking with all these clients that I'm working with, is like, I really want to help come out of that vortex and look at the options to help that, to help you not stay in the vortex. And that's kind of why I wanted Lisa to come today and talk to us, because I think she, has so much perspective. And she herself has been coached in all these arenas to know what's possible in terms of transformation. So Lisa, so support is everything, obviously. So if we wanted to learn more actually, I know that you mentioned to me that you just wrote an article on mom hacks. Can you tell us about that real quick? Yeah,
a couple of things. So I contributed to 100 hacks for working parents. It's an article on Romper, and you have the link so you can share it with everybody. Okay. But for those of you that consider yourself a working parent, get this list. I mean, oh my gosh, one of the tips I give is about using an out-of-office message, so that, if you are not going to be responding to emails right away, put an out-of-office message on. Make it for internal people only, but let people that you're working with know, so they don't feel like, oh yeah, she's probably off playing with a baby. Like, no, I'm doing something. Now, there's all kinds of things to think about with that because of all of the phishing and, the bad actors out there who are trying to scam people. So don't do an out of office to the public, but for your team, set the right rule up and make sure people know when you're available and when you'll be responding. It's a game changer, So yes, there's 100 hacks there. It's very helpful. I've gotten really good feedback on it, and it's from all different perspectives. One thing I want to say about that too, for people, when you are navigating the return to work part. So what I know to be true for a lot of people after they have the child and they come back into the workforce, they don't even know what they want or even how to go about asking to have this change happen. I certainly didn't. Now,
Right.
I teach influence all the time for sales leaders and engineers, okay? The secret's going to apply to you.
Yes.
Figure out what you want, why you want it, and what you can live with if you don't get that. So
Right.
let's say I want to work remote 100% and you can't get that. Maybe you can navigate and, broker a deal where it's part-time, right? Knowing that is essential. The second part is whoever needs to say yes, you better figure out what they care about and frame your ask in a way that they can actually make it easy for them to say yes to you. If it's all about you, no, I've already given you 12 weeks, 9, whatever, time off. I need you back to work, right? No. I can be my best self with 2 hours less of commute. I can be more productive for the customers when I'm accessing my computer, not stuck in traffic. That will help your boss say yes. So really think about what matters to the person who has to say yes and make sure you position it in a way that it benefits them or solves a problem for the company. Do not come at it with, I'm so tired I can't see straight. Don't do that. That will never get you what you want. Right?
That is such great advice. And again, because Lisa is a business strategist and a leadership expert, the concept of influence, but again, influence within alignment of your life with work, right? This is the whole thing, you guys, is we want to get clarity on life and how work fits into it. Then with the clarity through the 5-step process that we just went through, that's when then you can go back out into the world and very clearly and confidently make those important asks so that then what you desire comes to reality.
Yep.
And to take the sleepwalking out of the picture. And that's really what we want for all our families. Now, obviously, I don't want my family sleepwalking because they're sleep deprived. I want their baby sleeping, their child and the baby sleeping through the night with beautiful sleep habits so that then they have the energy to spend thinking deeply about these important topics so that they can ultimately enjoy the life and design the life that they want to live.
Yeah.
So Lisa, this has just been so amazing. Thank you so much. Every single time we collaborate, I continue to learn and grow and constantly realign to walk my talk too. So thank you so much. And tell us what website we can go to learn more about how to get this mom hacks. Because I want everyone to get access to that. Where should they go to get that?
Yeah, go to lisaduerre.com/ready. And that's basically the website that's in. So if you have this book, if you don't have this book, go get this book, right? Joanna's chapter, my chapter, there's a lot more in here, but the 5 steps I outlined are in here. And I will even show it on the screen if I can. It's lisaduerre.com/ready. And Duerre is Duerre. And for those of you wondering how to pronounce it, it's Duerre like jury. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so lisaduerre.com/ready. And yeah, let me see if I can show it. Can you see it there? In case anyone's watching.
It's pretty tiny. We're going to have it in the email. So.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay.
That's me trying to do a visual aid.
Yes.
Joanna, thank you for having me. What you do, listen, I had a sleep coach, right? If I had known you then, oh my gosh. Joanna and I bonded because we said, what do you do? And she said, sleep coach. And I was like, beeline. Okay, let's talk, right?
Right.
I just think you're fabulous. I love what you do for your community. I'm inspired by your mission. And I'm honored to be of any support that I can to your clients. It's a win-win for everybody. And a well-rested society of parents and children will change the face of this planet. I believe
Absolutely.
that. I believe that.
I believe that too. Thank you so much, Lisa.
All right. Thank you, Joanna. Okay. Take good care, everybody.
Okay. Bye. Bye.